Moremetal.com and PitCam Productions, and right beside me, Ville Valo from him.
Hello there.
In Berlin tonight. Ville, how are you at the moment?
I don't really know. I'm starting to see double. You know, everything is doubled up. It's been really, really busy year and a half.
So you are just ahead with promo work, or are you doing something beside already?
There's a gazillion different things going on. I was just singing some backing vocals for my friend's band, Anathema, and hopefully that's working out. I'm doing a couple of special recording things back home while doing press and while rehearsing with the band for a tour. We're gonna start touring, and it's never gonna end.
So him is coming out with a new CD and a limited edition where the whole CD is with the same songs in acoustic version.
Oh yeah, there's that one too.
This CD is called Screamworks.
Love in Theory and Practice, chapters 1 to 13.
What can the fans expect from that release? Is this going to be the kind of the same that you already did before, or something radical new that is going to happen?
I think that the people who know us can expect and maybe have a devilish smirk when they hear the clear Kraftwerk, Depeche Mode, 80s kind of synth stuff meeting with the rock we've done in the past. So still melancholy, but it's more in your face and it's more kick up the butt. It's more up tempo, more rock and roll.
More rock and roll.
Yeah, it was kind of like we wanted to have an album that would be the Violator era Depeche Mode meeting the Cult.
Great idea.
For the 80s. But I don't know whether it's a good idea, but it remains to be seen.
It's gonna be. Why did you choose Heartkiller to be the first single release and the first video?
It worked best in the car. It's like it's one of the things that you work on an album, and obviously you love all the songs as a band. You know, that's the reason to put all the songs on an album. And when the album was mixed, we were driving in Los Angeles, and a couple of songs started feeling right, and then Heartkiller is short, it's very direct, and can be, even though it's a kind of romantic love song, it can be interpreted as a guy's song as well. So even guys can like it.
In which corner do you feel most comfortable? Do you like to play more rocking stuff, or are you more into this kind of electronic experimental area, or where do you personally feel more comfortable?
I think the cool thing about our band is the fact that we can, we've been able to have them all. It's amazing to think that we had a song called Join Me in Death that was #1 exactly 10 years ago. That's crazy, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
And I know people who weren't even born then, so I feel old. But just saying that we've been able to, some reason be interesting to loads of different kinds of people, not just metalheads, not just goth rockers, not just your average pop fan, but all sorts of people, and I think that's been amazing, because that's something you can't decide when you start a band. You can't decide, yeah, we're going to be very well known, or yeah, we're going to be really good. It takes time, and there's a lot of luck. It's like gambling in Las Vegas with blinders on. You never know what's going to happen.
You started with some cover songs of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, when I'm right. Are you still into that kind of music? Are you still putting on some CDs of Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin?
Well, I know Sabbath probably too well, but yeah, now it's going to be the 40th anniversary of the first Black Sabbath album next year, so maybe I'm going to get the cover tattooed or something like that. I do listen to some of that stuff, and then again, for example, from England, there's Electric Wizard. They released Witch Cult today. That is the best Black Sabbathian album released a couple of years. Cathedral, they're working on a new album. I can't wait what Lee comes up with. I think Orange Goblin in the studio too. There's a lot of good English bands continuing in the vein of Sabbath. And I was listening to Sabbath so much that at one point I knew every Bill Ward, Mistake, and Drumfell by heart. So yeah, I grew up with that stuff, and they gave us the power, or not the power, but the belief that you don't necessarily have to look super good, and you don't have to come from Los Angeles or London to be successful. You can come from in the middle of nowhere and maybe work it out somewhere, one way or the other.
And it works.
It can work.
It can work. Let's jump back to Screenworks. Is there pressure onto bringing up another chart success? Do you, for yourself or from the record company or something, there's a bit pressure on coming up again with a big hit, or is this?
Well, record companies are. I've never met a record company who would be in it for the art.
Yeah.
So they're in it for, their business and selling records. So obviously they're hoping for the best, and they do their best to ensure that the album has all the possibilities of succeeding. Obviously, for egotistical reasons, obviously it'd be great if the album would succeed. It'd be a great kick in our butts, because we've done a lot of albums, and some of the albums would be successful in America, some in the UK, some in Germany, some in Finland, and it'd be great to have that one push, that one really, really good album. But it's about timing, it's about so many things. We believe in the album, but it's not necessarily enough. So yeah, I'm not pissing on money. I'm writing songs from my heart, but it doesn't mean that I want to live like a filth pig. So it's so yeah, it'd be I got a roof on top of my head and I got bread on the table, so I'm happy when it comes to that. But yeah, obviously, we want to be as big as Kiss or whomever.
Then I read another thing that you idolized Gene Simmons a bit. Is that true?
Well, he was one of the reasons why I started playing bass. Bass was my first instrument, so I was a big Kiss fan.
Ah, you did.
So it was Gene. I was big at one point. I was a big fan of Peter Criss. I wanted to be a drummer, so I took some lessons in drumming as well. And then, but I was a big fan of them. Iron Maiden when Live After Death came out. That was one of my all-time favorite albums. So Steve Harris was the bass player number one. Right. You couldn't see his fingers; they moved so fast. And then is it Frank from Anthrax and all that stuff. When Metallica were coming out with stuff, and when Slayer's Rain in Blood, it's crazy. We're just laughing about it with one of my friends that we're so old.
So there is a bit of a metalhead inside you.
Well, I grew up with metal, but then again, my mom, my dad, they grew up. They were when I was growing up, they were listening to traditional Finnish stuff, which is really melancholy folk music, and then the Rolling Stones and J.J. Cale, Rykud, a lot of blues. For some reason, my dad loves the blues and some country and western. So and then Finnish Schlager.
Finnish Schlager.
Yeah, Finnish pop music and old school pop music. So I've always been. I don't think that the fact that I like, the reggae artist Anthony B, is against the fact that I love Gilded Cunt by Cradle of Filth, or that I love Rika Putrefaction by Caucus, and still listen to Madonna's Live to Tell.
Yeah.
You like whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it right, as Skunk Anansi once sang. Skin, but I grew up with metal. I grew up with a lot of metal and mainly Maiden. Kiss and Maiden were the big ones for me.
Yeah, same as me. I saw Maiden in '83 and I grew up with Kiss, so that was the same to me. Ville, let me say thank you so far.
Thank you,
Until
sir.
here, let me wish you all the luck for
good 2010.
Screenworks and 2010, and for the tour, that everything is running well. Probably you have a sentence left for the viewer of moremetal.com, what you want to tell them?
Well, do exactly what you're doing at the moment, which is to enjoy this lovely scenery over here, and remember to grow your hair long as needed, and listen to as much metal as you can. And then when you go deaf, you can listen to whatever.
Okay.